Hello to all participants of this webinar and welcome in today's session. I hope you all having a good day. I am Erita Recep'i, the Portfolio Marketing Manager for CRSM and the PECB organizer of this webinar. Today's webinar will discuss the topic of how to select the best business continuity strategy and solution. This webinar will be presented by Silvana Tomic Rotim. She has 20 years of rich experience in the development and delivery of business and ICT consulting service for public and private sector. She has more than 15 years of experience in leading, coordinating, and managing of different consulting project teams in more than 50 consulting projects. At the end of the webinar, we have question and answer session in where all your questions will be answered by the presenter. Accordingly, I would kindly ask you to write down any question you may have during this webinar in the chat box of your control panel. Thank you very much for your attention and enjoy this webinar. Dear Silvana, you may start the presentation.
Thank you, Rita. Hi everybody. As Rita mentioned, I will present you how to select the best business continuity strategy and solution, and try to help you in your business to recognize the ways, methodologies, how to choose best business continuity strategy for your business, because of course it depends on business to business and on process to process. I will not repeat this information about me. I think that Erita mentioned enough. Introduce myself. I worked for 20 years in this area, so I have a lot of experience. We can start actually with the webinar. For the beginning, probably you know that different companies, different research institutions make some industry surveys in different areas, so the same in business continuity area. As you can see here, we have these four sources: Gartner, Meta Insurance Disaster Report, Business Continuity Institution, and Veritas Recovery Research Group. And the common for all of these sources actually is the fact that all businesses that experience disaster probably will go out of business within some years, and mostly a lot of them will not be reopened if they don't have a good business continuity plan, good business continuity strategy for their recovery. For example, Gartner, according to the Gartner, two out of 5 enterprises experiencing disaster will go out of business within 5 years. Gartner estimates that 40% of all our businesses which lose all their data go out of business within 5 years. According to Meta, 30% of businesses never reopen, while 29% go out of business within 2 years. According to Business Continuity Institute, 80% of businesses that do not have business continuity plans go out of business within 13 months of a major incident. And according to the last source, Veritas Recovery Research Group, we can see here top 5 consequences of a disaster: decreased employee productivity, data loss, probably most important, reduction in profits, damage to customer relationship, reduction in revenue, etc. The main question that's actually mentioned in the previous slides here is why we need a good BCM. Obviously, these survey results, recent events, natural disasters, but also the incidents caused by men around the world illustrate the importance of having a robust business continuity management program and mature business continuity management program. How to recognize, how to choose what would be the best business continuity program strategy, that depends on the risks that we faced. There are a lot of threats that can cause disruption of business processes, And that's the main reason why we have to conduct also risk management within the BCM process. BCM is an established component of risk management, and depending of the risks, if you can see on this graph, some kind of risks can cause, of course, disruption. Some kind of risks can cause even interruption of business for all time. So that's the main reason why risk management is necessary to be conducted within the BCM. What are the main value of business continuity to the entire business? Some of them are recognized here. Continuity of business operations, of course. We have some security. We can provide continuity for our customers. Also regulatory compliance. Many companies have to provide compliance to regulations, reduce the cost of risk management, security, privacy, data protection. We know that data protection is obviously the main one of the main objectives of business continuity. Expertise and skills. We have to provide also through outsourcing or training of our own employees, maintaining market readiness, and in that way we are becoming a more attractive partner. And the main question is how to start with BCM. You probably already done some job regarding business continuity. Common practice is to start with business impact analysis. That means that we try to recognize what kind of processes, services, our services are the most important for our company, and what would happen if these processes are interrupted. If we are not able to deliver our services anymore. And in that way we are provide this starting point of BCM, and that's our RTO, recovery time objective, and recovery point objective. We will say a little bit later what is RTO and RPO. Business continuity touches almost every part of organizations, business processes, infrastructure, people. That means we are starting from the business processes, but of course if we recognize that some of them are very important for us, we have to recognize what kind of infrastructure, what IT processes, what people are necessary to provide business process continuity. Price of business continuity management solution grows with its level. We will later see different levels of business continuity solutions, but obviously if we want to provide continuity within a few seconds, then the price is much higher. And that's the reason why there is a need to implement a cost-effective business continuity program in phases. Here you can see, I'm sure you know what recovery time objective is, but here is graphically represented what RTO is. It means the time from the incident to the recovery of critical processes. That means renewal of IT infrastructure, data recovery, renewal of operating resources. That means everything that's necessary for continue of our business services and continue of our business processes to our customer. The other very important parameter is the recovery point objective. That means we can say that the how much we can ask ourselves how much data we can lose. If we can lose one day or we can't lose any data, even one transaction, and this time actually called recovery point objective. There are different criteria for business continuity solutions that we have to think about when we try to choose the best business continuity strategy. The first one is recovery times must be repeatable and reliable. That allows business continuity process to be built upon a reliable, consistent recovery time. The second criteria is large scalability. That means that recovery times must be known even as the system scales. In today's time to market world, it's unacceptable to not have assured scalability. Then affordable testing. That means repeatable, reliable, scalable business continuity can only be assured through testing that can be affordably performed often. And fundamentally, of course, business continuity requires automation. Also, it's very important to recognize when we are trying to choose the best business continuity strategy, where we are, in which segment. We can prepare this kind of segmentation to recognize three segments: backup, restore as the lowest one, rapid recovery, and continuous availability. It's obvious that all our business processes will not be in the same segment. Some of them are so much important that obviously they will be in continuous availability segment, but for some of them it would be just enough to have backup and restore option. That's the reason why we do this kind of segmentation is actually to optimize the costs and to provide the best strategy, best business continuity solution for every business processes that we want to recover. This is typical evolution of a business continuity program, and it's clear that in many companies there are many companies in different phases. Some of them are still in unaware phase, but fortunately there are not many companies now in this phase. After that, we have a high level of maturity, awareness phase, where companies starting to develop new policy sets. Then corrective phase, institute processes, provide recovery architecture, conclude catch-up projects, and at the highest level of maturity, operations excellence phase, where of course we have continuous process improvement, track technology and business change, but of course it expects some time for getting this phase to provide the best solution and to provide continuous process improvement regarding business continuity. Here you can see business continuity planning process. As you can see there, it is divided in three main areas: business prioritization, integration into IT, and managing. The first one, business prioritization, includes risk assessment. We already said that the very important phase of business continuity is risk assessment, risk management. Then we have business impact analysis. We already mentioned that. We have to recognize for how interruption of some processes, some services will influence on our company, on our profit, our business results. Then business continuity program assessment, that our employees are aware of their business processes, the expected RTO, RPO. And then we are starting with integration into IT. That means we know that business continuity is not IT business continuity, but the very important part of business continuity is actually IT disaster recovery, that means IT business continuity. Because of that, we have to prepare also BC program design, IT strategy design, that means IT infrastructure that will provide adequate availability, data replication, database software design, everything that is necessary for business continuity, and start with implementation. After that, actually in the process of implementation and after implementation, we continuously have to provide validation of the program and to provide improvements of business continuity program, and continuously work on testing, training people to provide that this business continuity program is not just something on the document, but it really works in practice. It's very important to find the balance. Here is mentioned this triangle: downtime, BC solution, and cost. That means we have to decide how much time we can not to work. Actually, how much time is downtime. And from the other side, that's the base for deciding which kind of business continuity solution is best for us. Of course, costs depends on our decision, as you can see on the next slide. Here you can see that actually it's not necessary to provide the best possible solution with RTO 0 if it's not necessary for all our business processes in our business. It's better to provide some optimal solution, as you can see here in this gray rectangle. So the costs, you can see here the maximum tolerated costs. It means that it doesn't make any sense to invest more money in business continuity solution, because we will not get anything better, because our RTO is here. According to our RTO, we can choose one of these 7 types of business continuity solutions, and it's very important to choose the best one for every of our business processes. Of course, the lowest level is here is mentioned as business continuity tier 1, restore from tape. Even in practice it's possible, of course, to have business continuity tier 0, because if you don't have anything, it's tier 0. But the first possible solution, if we are talking and thinking about business continuity, is tier 1, that require restore from tape. That means we don't have any mirroring solution, we don't have any replication, etc. We have backup tapes, and we are able to restore our data from backup. But of course, we don't have an infrastructure to continue with business. The next one is tier 2. We have hot site, we can restore our data from type, and we can start with our business. Of course, we need some time. The better solution is tier 3, electronic tape voting, then tier 4, point-in-time-BC copy, tier 5, transaction. We have here even transaction integrity, software-based mirroring. That's just much better solution. Then we have business continuity tier 6, storage, server mirroring, and tier 7, server and storage mirroring, automated end-to-end recovery. That means complete mirroring solution that in that way our business can be recovered in a few seconds or minutes. Here you can see mapping of these 7 tiers to the already mentioned 3 business continuity segments. That means, for example, segment backup restore covered the first 3 tiers, segment rapid data recovery tiers from 4 to 6, and continuous availability as the highest segment, tier 7. That means here we can say that every business process, every our service to our customer can be put in one of these 3 segments, and according to that we can decide which tier is the best possible solution for our business processes. If we want, these segments actually are the name talk about them, but we can say something about every of them. For the first one, continuous availability. What does it mean? It means integration of servers, storage, software, and automation, networking, mostly based on some form of operating system server clustering to provide application availability, usually performed a predefined set of tasks required to restart the application on another server. Of course, that's the most required and the best solution, definitely. The second segment is rapid data recovery. It's based on maintaining the second disk resident copy of data that is consistent at the point in time as close to the time of failure as possible, allows for the restart of systems and applications without having to restore data and reapplying updates that have occurred since the time of the data backup, and it spans tier 4 to tier 6, as we already mentioned. It is distinguished from continuous availability by the fact that the automation required to be a tier 7 solution here is not present. And the lowest segment, backup and restore, it means this segment, of course, is most simple and basic solution. Protect and recover data from failure by creating another copy of data from the production system. It provides second copy, and the second copy of data allows you to restore data to the time of the data backup. And of course it spans tier 1 through tier 3. As you can see here, we usually have this track transport of our tapes. And based on their results, we choose the best solution, the best strategy for us, for every business processes, depending on RTO and recovery time, from backup on-site, tape backup, to data center mirroring with a very fast recovery. Of course, beside this, we have other key components about which we have to think and resolve them during the process of business continuity preparation. The first one is networking. It's very important and necessary to have properly configured network infrastructure. It is critical for the efficient transmission of data from one location to another if we have disaster recovery location. Then also application and database considerations, because it's necessary to create high availability clusters and use them with regard to databases and other applications. And also maybe it's important to mention SME businesses, small and medium business considerations, because many people think that SMEs is not so important to have to business continuity plan, but obviously it's not true. Increasingly rely on their IT systems to support their businesses. Any system downtime, data loss has several negative impacts on revenues, profits, client satisfactions. So obviously it's very important to have business continuity plans also for small and medium businesses. Here is also business continuity solution selection methodology. There are very practical methodology and instructions how to implement it. Of course, we start from the risk analysis results and BIA, business impact analysis results, but there are 11 questions that we can ask ourselves to define some possible business continuity solution. After that, we will have some possible business solution identified, and the final step we will actually eliminate no solution measure. That means recognize the best one. So we can see now very fast what kind of questions we can ask ourselves. Here they are. What are the business processes and applications that need to be recovered? On what IT platform or platform does it run? What is the desired recovery time objective? What is the distance between the recovery sites, if there is one? What is the form of connectivity or infrastructure transfer that will be used to transfer the data to the recovery site? How much bandwidth is that? What are the specific IT hardware and software configurations that need to be recovered? What is the desired level of recovery? Planned, unplanned, transaction integrity. What is the recovery point objective? What is the amount of data that needs to be recovered? Who will design the solution? Who will implement the solution? After answering to these questions, we will have good inputs to recognize the most appropriate strategies, solutions for our company, for our business processes. But also, considering budget pressure, you may also ask what business problems will business continuity solutions solve, especially if you don't experience an unplanned outage. How much will business continuity solution cost? You know that management will always ask that. How do we discover how much we can afford? How should we define what level of business continuity we really need? That means we have to really find the optimum solution, not just to provide the best possible business continuity solution in the world, but to provide the best possible solution for our company, and according also to the costs, of course. Here you can see business continuity tier based on RPO and RTO. You can see what does it mean tier 1, what does it mean tier 7. For example, if you are talking about recovery point objectives or recovery time objectives. For example, recovery point objective, if we have tier 7, it's just seconds. And also we are able to recover our business in time less than 2 hours. But for lower levels it's not possible. But from the other side you can see here relative price in the last column, and you can see that that solution is of course even 9 to 10 times more expensive. For the conclusion, just to say a few things, few items. Disruption to the critical business processes could leave the entire business exposed. Today's organization face ever-escalating customer demands and expectations. There is no room for downtime. Always there are other companies who can offer better and in shorter time. To remain competitive, it is necessary to have a resilient IT infrastructure. It's a very important part of business continuity. There is a methodology, as we saw, for design and selection of the most suitable business continuity solution. So we have to just follow the methodology, and you can choose the best one based on the business impact analysis results and your needs from one side, but also the cost from the other side. Here are the sources that I used for these presentations from IBM Redbook and also Gartner and PECB materials. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Silvana, for this informative webinar. I would like to ask the audience to write your question now while I start reading the first question. One attendee wrote, I did not quite understand what exactly you meant by cost or price of BCM increases with cost of solution. Please explain.
Okay, that means if maybe I can go to, I think that the colleague told on this, I suppose. That means if cost of solution is of course higher and higher if we want to recover our business immediately after incident, because in that case we have to have mirroring site, disaster recovery site with all possible hardware, software, replication on this disaster recovery site, and of course it costs a lot, too much. And for some businesses, for banks, etc., it's important because they want to be able to start immediately after incident. That means in a few hours, less than 2 hours, that we saw, for example, for Tier 7. But for example, if we work in an agency that can answer for some questions, requests from the clients in 7 days, our RTO is not necessary to be 2 hours. It could be maybe 7 days. In that case, we will not invest so much in solution, business continuity solution, because it's not cost effective. We will invest less money but provide recovery in 7 days with this money. That means provide good enough solution, acceptable to our company. That's the reason why these costs, of course, depends on recovery time objective. If it's less, we have to invest so much more. If RTO is longer, it's not necessary to invest so much, but of course, if we not invest in business continuity, then this cost of outage is getting higher and higher. I hope that I answered the question.
Thank you for this answer. We will go with the next question. Could crisis management team be part of BCM process or a standalone resource?
Crisis management team is the element, is the team of business continuity team, definitely, and crisis management is a part of business continuity. As the idea, we have to define business continuity team, and one element, one part, one member, or I don't know, one sub-team of business continuity team is also crisis management, who cares and take care about crisis, about activities immediately after crisis, etc.
Thank you for this answer. We will go with the next one. Any recommendation for a solution system for BCM?
Good questions. I don't know actually, is it related to IT solution or generally to business continuity solution, but I suppose it is related to business continuity solution. As you can see during all presentation, there are no the best possible solution, business continuity solution generally for everybody. It is necessary for every company to choose the best solution for themselves. That means you have to do business, you have to conduct business continuity, business impact analysis for all of your core business processes, and you can decide after that, okay, if my business process A interrupt and stops for 1 day, is it terrible? Is it cost too much for my company or no? And you have to find the point which is for you acceptable for disruption of your business process. That means if it's for your business, okay, that you don't work, for example, 1 day, you will choose the business continuity strategy for that RTO, recovery time objective. But if, for example, you say, no, we are a bank and we can't lose any data, our RPO, recovery point objective, is 0, we have to work, we have to recover our business processes in 1 hour, because otherwise we will have a really big, really high costs of outage. Then you will say, okay, because of that, because of RTO 1 hour and RPO 0, we decide to the best business continuity solution for us is star 7. That means we are build our disaster recovery location, we will provide all hardware, software on that location, provide mirroring, provide synchronized replication, and all other elements that are necessary to provide this kind of RTO and RPO.
Thank you for this answer. I will go with the next question. What did you mean by large scalability? One attendee wrote.
That means actually that could be applicable to any infrastructure that we are able to support any infrastructure, and that, for example, if we change something in our main location, it is necessary to be changed on disaster recovery location, and should follow all requests for scalability and for improvement and for new functionalities, etc.
The next question is, in order to have an efficient BC solution, what should be the frequency of BCP test?
BCP test, it's usual to have tests at least once a year, but as you know, there are different kinds of tests. You can have tests, for example, walkthrough, simulation, parallel work, total disruption, and of course, for example, total disruption where you will stop your work on your main side. You will not practice that so often, but for example, some kind of testing around the table or some kind of walkthrough or simulation, you will definitely do it at least once a year. But my suggestion is to have different kind of tests and to prepare a test plan and say, okay, we will total interruption have every 2 years, we will parallel testing, parallel work on main and disaster recovery side have every year, and we will check the I don't know if our plan is good or not around the table, talking to the team members every 6 months, for example, and we then follow our test plan.
Thank you for this answer. The next question is it advisable to use the cloud as a backup site?
Again, it depends. Of course, if your company is that kind of company that for you is acceptable, why not? Many companies don't accept cloud as a solution because it, for example, banks, etc., as I mentioned earlier, they really need their people on disaster recovery side. They want to have everything in a minute so that they can continue with work, etc. With cloud solution, of course, you can provide I don't know, data backup or something like that, but you can provide for example, other location for your people, for business people who can go there and start with business, start with their processes, continue with their activities. That means cloud solution is a part, it covers some IT disaster recovery solution, but definitely for some companies it's not a good solution because it can't provide real work for all people who have to go somewhere and continue with the business, because we know that business continuity is not just IT. We have to provide the people who work on business, on our business processes, that then they are able to go somewhere and continue with their work.
Thank you for this answer. Because of the time limitation, we will be answering the final question. Can you give example other than user question to determine RPO?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
Yes. Can you give examples other than users question to determine RPO? This is a question, one question that one attendee wrote.
Actually, I didn't understand you. Can I get the example of RPO?
Yes.
Or what?
Yes, other than user question to determine RPO.
RPO is actually, for example, we have our backup in our company, and in the case of incident, everything is broken, our backup doesn't work, and RPO, and for example, every 24 hours we make tape backup and take this tape to the other location. That means if incident happened at 5, for example, in 11 a.m., at 11 a.m., we will lose all data that we worked during that morning, because the last backup was evening before the incident. And in that case, for us, it's acceptable to have RPO 1 day, 24 hours, because we can guarantee that we have data from 24 hours old. We have our backup on the other side, for example, disaster recovery side, never mind, something offside, actually there are all our data, but the maximum data that we can lose is 24 hours. And that, for example, is acceptable for us. From the other side, in banks, as I said, they can't lose any data, any transaction, and they say, okay, our RPO is 0. That means that they will not lose any data. In that case, it's not enough to have tape backup every 24 hours, because if incident happened during the day, they will lose the data from that day. So they have to have replication to disaster recovery side, synchronized replication, and provide that every moment when they enter data on their main server, this data is replicated also on disaster recovery location. And in that case, they will not lose their data. I hope that, that it's answer to the question, if I understood well.
Dear Silvana, thank you for this excellent webinar, and I want to thank all the attendees as well who have joined us today. I hope all your questions have been answered, and I also want to inform you that this webinar is recorded and can be found on PECB YouTube channel and in our website pecb.com. I hope you enjoyed this webinar, and I wish you all a good day.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Bye.